All right, y'all. This is Rumor Smooth, episode number 45. And I got with me KJ and Char. Excuse me,
Hey
Char.
y'all.
Yeah.
Why you
What's
stuttering
up,
on
y'all?
our names like we ain't the only two motherfuckers on the podcast? Nigga said,
No, because I was thinking if I was gonna say the whole at name, or I was just gonna say
Oh.
what I normally say. Like that's where I was at. That's where I was at. But sheesh. Anyway, how y'all doing?
Living.
Living?
Yeah, living.
looking at the bullshit as usual. You know me, I'm around the bullshit.
Matter of fact, I forgot something. Hold on. Yeah, I'll just do this for a second. Hold on, y'all. The whole thing. Hold on. Yeah, so yeah. All right, now I feel better.
I don't know what happened, but okay.
What we missed? Hold on. Never mind. What's the first topic? Let's get into it.
The first topic is all right. So everybody growing up, right? Everybody was either watching Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. You know what I'm saying, or some combination of the two growing up. So for y'all, like, we'll start here with Cartoon Network. So Cartoon Network, what's on your Mount Rushmore for like Cartoon Network? You got to pick four. Like, what's on your Mount
I got you.
Rushmore?
I
I
got you.
got you.
Go ahead, Sean.
Like, and don't include like those properties that were like kind of like somewhere else too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Scooby Doo was like on like other channels. Like Scooby Doo don't
We
count.
got you.
Fuck you, because I was about to say Scooby Doo.
I know. A lot of people
wasn't
was,
gonna
and
say
I
that.
was like, you didn't even belong there.
I wasn't gonna
Yeah,
say that.
Yeah.
So before I forget, Powder Puff Girls, love some fat. Dexter's Laboratory.
Okay.
Gosh, I don't
You're doing
remember
good, man.
there were so many shows. Did Doug come on Cartoon Network?
No, what's his
Though
name?
that was regular.
That's it.
Terrible.
Damn, that's all I could think of at the moment. Oh, Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold was Nickelodeon too.
Dang. So what did I say? Powder Puff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory.
You want me to help you out here?
Yeah.
I got you. So my four: Powder Puff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Dragon Ball Z,
Okay, yeah, I did watch that.
Sailor Moon.
Mm.
No. Let me take off Sailor Moon and I'm gonna replace it with Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh, okay.
Did Pokemon come on Cartoon Network?
No, Pokemon.
Wait. Pause. Hold on. That list is fire. No cap. But I forgot that Toonami stuff don't count. It's literally just the cartoons. Like it's literally just the cartoons.
Nigga, what?
Like so literally. So look, I'll tell y'all my list. So look, it ends up being like Ed and Eddie.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Ed and Eddie.
Okay.
Cow and Chicken.
Oh shit. Okay.
Dexter's
All right.
Laboratory. Laboratory.
Okay.
And man,
Did Cat Dog come on Cartoon Network?
No, Cat Dog was on Nickelodeon.
Stop
naming, hey, leave her mic. Stop naming Nickelodeon cartoons.
I was a Nickelodeon girl, obviously.
I was a Nickelodeon kid too, but damn.
Man.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
So Pokemon didn't come on Cartoon Network at all?
No,
it
so
came on.
It's not that it didn't come on Cartoon Network. It's not a Cartoon Network property. I'm talking about solely owned. Oh, and my last one's gonna be Samurai Jack. That was what I was looking for. That's
a fire list. I just say, for me, Cartoon Network went downhill starting in like the early 2000s when they took off Toonami, the late night shit, and then like they got rid of another Cartoon Network, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Oh wait, no, like you know
that was a good one.
But when they got rid of like all the classics, and then they started going to this like Amazing World of Gumball bullshit and whatever the hell else was on there, and because I used to also fuck with the Cartoon Network spinoff. I fuck with Boomerang. You know that had all like so Boomerang if you had bougie parents, you had the upgraded cable package.
Oh yeah,
Jetsons. Yeah, the Jetsons. You had Scooby Doo. You had the Looney Tune cartoons. Like it was like the bougie upgrade package if you had DirecTV back in the day. But when Cartoon Network got rid of them and they started doing all this cringy Gumball and like they tried to be too cringy, right? Like Nickelodeon started the game off with like Ren and Stimpy. Like I remember like as a kid I couldn't watch
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy was like horribly disgusting, and I could not watch it as a kid.
It was.
And then Cartoon Network, they came out with whatever show they had that rivaled it. I think Space Ghost tried it, but it wasn't really that cringy. But then like they got away from the shit that we enjoyed to watch. Like Ed, Edd and Eddy was dope. You know, Dexter's Lab was just undefeated. Samurai Jack was good. I forgot about Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack was cool.
Did Inspector Gadget come on Cartoon Network?
It's not solely owned by Cartoon Network, but it did.
Yeah. So you're talking about like Cartoon Network originals, like only came on Cartoon.
I can't remember what just came on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, but them was my four. I guess since you keep listing the Nickelodeon, go ahead with your Nickelodeon list.
Go ahead.
Listen, man, I was obsessed with Rugrats. Rugrats is at the top. The top of my list. I know we don't talk about cartoons, but I'm sorry. All that was my shit. Do you remember all that? Okay,
of course.
Kenan and Kel. Gosh, I just had it with the Black Family, the Proud Family. Did that come on there? No,
that was on Disney.
Disney.
Yo, man, come on. Yo, you killing me here.
There's another
show a while ago.
You talking about
else I had
with a Black Family? You talking about Cousin Skeeter?
Cousin Skeeter, Gullah Gullah Island. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay, yes, we agree. Those are great shows, but they're not cartoons.
I know, I'm sorry, but I had.
All right, so boom, I got you. My Nickelodeon.
I listed a bunch of Nickelodeon shows, y'all said they weren't Cartoon Networks. I already technically participated.
My Nickelodeon. Here's my Nickelodeon cartoon only. Mount Rushmore. Doug. Rugrats. Rugrats.
Absolutely.
Cat Dog.
Okay.
And the Wild Thornberries.
Okay. Oh, okay. So mine is I got Avatar: The Last Airbender. That one was cold. Rugrats, Rocket Power.
Oh,
I'm always watching Rocket Power. Rocket Power cold. And then
Johnny Bravo. Do y'all remember Johnny Bravo?
Johnny Bravo was on Cartoon Network. Yo, let him finish. Go ahead, bro. The guy, leave.
Oh, Hey Arnold. That's what I meant. That's what I wanted to say. Hey Arnold.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, my last one. God, that's tough. Hold on. I said all that. I mean, I said Avatar: The Last Airbender, Rugrats, Rocket Power. Man, it's tough. That's tough. It's a toss up between I want to say either Doug or I want to say Little Monsters. Like I kind of want to say Little Monsters
over Doug.
I really enjoyed Little Monsters just because it was just freaking like outlandish. Like there was no episode I knew what was going to happen.
You talking about All Real Monsters?
Yeah, All Real Monsters. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, with Iggy and Crumb and
he held his eyeballs in his
I'm over here cheating, looking stuff up.
That's never not gonna have me weak.
Yo, that nigga. Yo, oh shit. Whoever thought of that part.
They had him spy on somebody by rolling his eye. Like he literally took his eye, rolled it under the door, and he was just sitting there just looking in the room. I'm like, that's wild.
But I'm over here cheating, looking up all the cartoons on Nickelodeon.
I mean, do what you got to do. Like you're not cheating. You know what I'm saying?
But
I just happen to remember.
Aside from the cartoons, I was really obsessed with Kenan and Kel, Hey Arnold, and Gullah Gullah Island. Those were my shits.
Hey Arnold is a cartoon, though.
I mean, sorry, all that. I'm gonna say all that. Kenan and Kel and Gullah Gullah Island.
Okay.
Who loves orange soda? Kel
loves orange soda. Is it true?
Mm-hmm. I do.
That's so stupid.
Bro, that's like the wildest, funniest obsession. Like a nigga only drinking orange soda. Like I know his insides were fucked. That's all you drink.
He's on life support.
And then they came out with Good Burger. Oh man, couldn't tell me nothing when Good Burger came out.
Yeah, man, really, Nickelodeon really had like a crazy black lineup. Like when you really look at it, like people like we did not appreciate them for what they was doing.
We didn't.
We did not.
Talking about no, I'm saying like as far as like the amount of love and support that we could, if we would have gave that, we could have kept that. We could have kept that space and domain. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't.
Yeah.
Well, Nick Cannon did. I respect Nick Cannon before he did his own little wild out thing. Nick Cannon was definitely giving folks jobs. But I think the same thing is like Nickelodeon, like they got away from their core of what made them good. You know what I'm saying? They got away, and then they started going. I mean, you know, I don't want to say. I hate to say this, and I know they're gonna criticize me. Oh, hey, hey, podcast bay. But no, I mean, but no, like, okay, I hate to say this, and y'all might crucify me, but real shit, SpongeBob was the beginning of the end for them.
Yeah,
and I say that like
SpongeBob is kind of too. It's really like grown. When you watch SpongeBob now, you be like, why was kids watching?
Man, as an adult, you be catching.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, SpongeBob is the OG now. You know what I'm saying? But like when SpongeBob came out, it was wild. It was not really that popular, and then like the cartoons that came after it just weren't hitting on shit. And it was like, yo, we literally just want reruns of the Rugrats, Rocket Power, Hey Arnold, and all the other fun shit, and like we didn't get it, and it was just like, this is whack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Facts. Yeah, okay, so I grew up on Jetsons, Flintstones, Yogi Bear, Pinky and the Brain.
Forgot about Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky and the Brain, yeah.
I grew up on As Told by Ginger.
Okay, hey.
Yeah. Like the not they weren't badgers. What were they?
Angry Beavers.
The Beavers.
The Angry Beavers. They weren't badgers.
That's what I grew up on. I grew up on a lot of Boomerang and like, but I also grew up on Fairly Odd Parents, Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, Powerpuff Girls. We discussed that. Mm-hmm.
Like, what else? I'm trying to think because it's a lot of shows. It's a lot of freaking shows. I think my all-time favorite was probably my favorites was Rocket Power, As Told by Ginger, Lilo and Stitch. I don't know why, but I loved the show version of it too. I love the movie and the show, like when they was trying to find the little things. I don't know why, but I did. Oh, did y'all ever used to watch this is probably my age era, but it was like, y'all ever watch them little furry things on Disney Channel? They was human in costumes, but they was like some furry. It was like pink, blue, and orange, I think.
This must be after my time.
Why am I thinking about the Teletubbies though?
Teletubbies.
That's my first thought too. And then he said orange. I said, oh damn.
And the orange Teletubbies.
The sun.
Sounds like it's way after my time. Whatever you talking about.
I gotta look it up now because it's gonna bother me until I know like what it was, or like Courage the Cowardly Dog, Samurai Jack.
Yeah. Okay, so
Samurai Jack was my favorite.
Yeah, I said that too. It's Samurai Jack's my favorite too. So so check this out. So what is your top 4 Cartoon Network shows, like originals, like
Cartoon
it was only
Network originals? Is Johnny Bravo Cartoon Network?
Yeah, he is.
That's what I said too.
Johnny Bravo, Ed and Eddie.
I liked Ed and Eddie.
Their whole neighborhood was hysterical.
No, literally. Like they should bring that back if they're gonna bring anything back.
Bruh. Plank, they had Plank scaring the other people.
Dog, the fucking Rolf meme is still hilarious, man. With the nigga staring out the window. Oh my god.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I actually did like that show. I was still in like middle school when that came out, I think, or like maybe like the end of my elementary time.
Wait, Celine, remind how young are you again?
I'll be 24 next week.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh my, that's
I'm like girl like a baby, but I watched like I got the era to watch like everything and some like. Cause Tom and Jerry was like one of my favorites. Still to this day, I'll sit and watch Tom and Jerry all day. Or like
Tom and Jerry
Pepe Le Pew.
They don't say nothing.
It was funny as hell. He would not leave that bitch alone.
But that's not Cartoon Network though.
I know,
that's
I'm
Looney
trying to
Tunes.
think of 2 more Cartoon Networks. I keep on thinking of Nickelodeon, right?
No, Cartoon Network. I mean, Looney Tunes were just their own entity, but Cartoon Network did show a lot of Looney Tunes. But
yeah, they had a license.
Looney Tunes. I love Looney Tunes.
Yeah, like Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew was a Looney Tune.
Bugs Bunny and Daffy
another
Duck.
Looney Tune.
Like those 2 was probably my favorite. Daffy was just always mad and got his shit knocked off every time. His mouth will literally get knocked off.
Yo, Tom and Jerry was on site, no words. Like whoever made Tom and Jerry, like
for real,
dog, no, very few words, little to no words, all smoke for 30 minutes.
Straight beef for 15 minutes. Episode.
Just knocking each other off, and then don't let the dog be a part of it too. Don't let the dog be there.
Man,
don't let the dog be there.
Yep. What was that? Then your Nickelodeon shows, your favorite.
My
your
top Nickelodeon shows.
Yeah.
All that. I loved all that. Even though that's not a
wait. Cartoons.
You didn't say cartoons. You said shows.
You just
I
said
did set up for failure. No, that's not. I know. That's why I had to come in and correct it. I set up for failure.
Let me think, because I get networks mixed up. So hold on.
So it's okay. I was too, and they was
literally just did it.
Nickelodeon was like SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, and like that, right?
Yeah. Fairly Odd Parents. You had like your Avatar: The Last Airbender. You had Rocket
Avatar
Power,
is definitely
Rugrats
one for me. I love love Avatar. I love Avatar. Okay, so that's probably number one for me. I watched Fairly Odd Parents a lot when I was a kid, so I guess I can throw that in there. But I know there was better shows, so I'm trying to think like. Nah, I need my computer. Name a list of Nickelodeon shows because
Nickelodeon shows, but you got Doug, you got
Doug. Okay, Doug. I watched Doug.
I love me some
Doug. I love Doug.
All Real Monsters, Rugrats.
Okay, Rugrats. Okay, so my top three for sure is Avatar, Doug, and Rugrats.
Yeah, Rugrats is everybody's
was my
top.
Shit. Like you cannot.
I was obsessed with Rugrats, and then they came out with the Rugrats movie. Man,
no, for real. They had France and it was two of them. It was one where they was in the jungles and they met the Thornberries, and then it was Thornberries, bitch. No, that's my shit right there. I love the Thornberries.
Hey, Wild Thornberries is good.
Yes, like what?
Nigga, she talking to animals, bro. That shit was that shit was next level.
Yeah.
He was Dr. Doolittle before Dr. Doolittle was Dr. Doolittle.
There was a lot of Dr. Doolittles.
Man. Yeah. All right. So next topic, now that we've beat this into the grave, dating someone with kids.
All right. Let's get real.
You're funny.
I'm open.
This dude's stupid. He didn't turn on the heart.
I'll go first.
Hey, no, but real talk though. So, how do y'all feel about it? Because I'm different. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead.
So I used to be against it, and I think it's because you know how like you say you don't want something, and then as you grow and mature and get older, and you realize you don't understand why you said that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had a preference of the person I'm dating having no kids because to me it seemed like a responsibility I didn't want to deal with. And the older I've gotten, well, first of all, I turned 34 in 3 weeks. So, you know, my dating pool, the longer that someone's single in my dating pool, the more likely they are to have kids. And so I realized that one, my options were getting smaller and smaller by having this requirement of no kids. And two, I was missing out on some great men who are amazing fathers. That shit is sexy as fuck when a man is a good father. I started realizing that like the qualities that men who have kids have, like really
in their life
is beautiful. And sometimes they're a lot more patient because like you gotta have a lot of patience to deal with kids and those kind of men. From my experience. So because of that, it's not a deal breaker for me. Now it also depends on what the situation is with the baby mama. Because if the baby mom's crazy and she makes life hell, no, absolutely not. There are definitely factors and circumstances here for me.
What if you fall in love and find out after?
That she cray?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
You want to go to war? You gonna want the smoke?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. If it ain't Celine, I don't want it.
I'm dead.
I'm just playing. I'm playing. But no, man. Yeah, for me, it's gonna be. For me, I have a couple of exceptions to the rule. Like women, if they were ever single or ever got interested to have children, that I would consider amending my preference for. And they know who they are.
Oh.
And I'm just nigga, I just said one of them. Damn, like I'm just saying though, like, but No, to keep it 100 though, it's a no for me, dog. And the reason why it's a no for me is several reasons, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Reason number one is that going through the journey of childbirth, because I went through it with my sisters, although obviously not my children, my nieces and my nephews. It's like watching a nugget grow. I call them nuggets until they get named. Watching nugget grow, and like you go to the appointments and you build a bond and the whole nine. Like that's something that I want to experience for the first time with someone who is also their first time, right? Like, you know, we both go through the new parenting together. I've seen situations where it's his first child or her first child, and it's like his second, and then it just becomes like, oh no, we're not gonna do it this way, we're gonna do it that way because the last time, and I'm like, well, I'm not the last experiencer. You know, that he's not responsible for, you know, what happened with your first time. That's the first thing, right? I want to go through the experience first and foremost. I want to go through the experience for the first time with someone who is also their first time. So it's something that we uniquely share together. You know, it's not too many firsts that people can share anymore. You know, you talk about having premarital sex. You know, people have been married before or engaged. You know, there's not too many, you know, you might have kissed somebody else. There's not too many firsts you can share with someone in this era. Right. My second reason is that for me being 31 and close in age to Shar, we kind of date in the same pool in a sense. No, literally, we actually do because we both live in DC. But and in our era, but in our era,
DC small, bro.
hey, DC small as shit. You be surprised who know who, right? But in our era, it takes a lot of emotional maturity to get over or heal yourself from sharing a life with another human being, right? Like that's not an easy task. And that's what I realize as I get older as to why I see so many, you know, people become scorned about dating women with children. It 9 times out of 10 has absolutely nothing to do with the child. Like I love kids. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I give them candy, hype them up, you know, be big brother, play video games, watch cartoons, eat your snacks, run you in circles, watch you go to sleep and fall asleep right next to you. Like I have absolutely zero problem with any kid, right? But the problem is that a lot of people, and I guess for me it'd be women, and I don't want to assume, have not healed from that emotional, I don't want to call it trauma, but that emotional bond that was built. Like you gave this, well, okay, fine, we'll call it trauma. But it's half of this man chilling inside your uterus for 9 months. That's 36 long weeks, sometimes longer than that. Like you can't tell me that you can get over that bond or that get over that situation, you know, in a year. You know, it takes a lot of people to heal from that, and most women have not properly healed from that before they try to move into the dating pool. And then they say that they have, but then they let emotional issues or things that happen. Like I dated a woman back in the day, and great chick, had a lot of goals, but she still would allow her child's father, because I hate saying baby, she would still allow her son's father to mess with her emotionally. Like we lived in 2 different states, and I would come down, and I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna take you out on a date, you know, and it would be his weekend to watch their child, and he'd be like, oh well, I can't do it this weekend because I just picked up an extra shift, knowing that she got something going on, or she got a date, or whatever the case may be. So my plans will go from, all right, let's have a romantic dinner, to, all right, let's go to Jump House or whatever. And it would bother her. It would bother her to the point where I would say, hey, you need to figure something out. And I eventually got tired of her venting to me about the problems that she would have with him, because at some point I'm tired of you bringing these situations into our new relationship that we're building together. But then I look insensitive and I look like an asshole, and I'm like, well, I don't have to deal with this shit because I don't have kids. I don't have no ties to you. So I would say it's also that as well. And then, I mean, the most important thing is, it's like a lot of women still have secret feelings for their child's father, and they want their families to work out. And a lot of men secretly want the family to work out as well. They just want to, you know, if they were hoes before they had kids, they probably going to be hoes after. Like, you having that man's child is not going to stop him from wanting to put his dick in half the city. It's just he has to put his dick in half the city, and he has to pay child support now or have responsibilities. And I've seen a lot of situations where they've had a child, they've broken up, and then they years later down the line, they like, look, we got this child, let's reconcile this thing. And for me, I'd be damned if the period y'all broken up, I build her up into a better version of herself. And like I push you to go back to school. I push you to start that business. I'm telling you, I'm pouring into you to go to yoga and heal yourself, lose weight, whatever your goals are. And then here this nigga come, oh, well, we got this child. I want to work this out. I see what you've become. I wasn't mature enough. I fixed myself on my own, and now I'm ready to have you. Like, nigga, back up. Like, I did this work. Like, what the fuck? So, but I always know that I'll never be able to compete with a family. And I shouldn't have to, and I don't want to. And I'll never, ever stop a man from being a father to his child. So for me, it's like, let me remove myself totally from the situation.
And I would like to add one thing.
Do you think it's a threat for you?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. But do you think that it more so, do you think it just more so makes you feel like threatened, or is it just that you just wholeheartedly just would rather not deal with it? Because you said, I'm just asking because you had said they secretly possibly might want their family back, but like nobody knows until it's known, right? Like I would think if somebody is with me, then they're with me, right? But I don't know. I guess I'm just asking because it's like that kind of sounded like it was out of like, I don't want to say fear, but like.
No, it sounds like you've been through a really bad situation. Yeah,
you've been. It sounds like
now
you're
like against it at all.
So keep it 100. So I'll keep it 100. Like part of it is fear. Like I have been through. I did go through a situation. The situation I just semi-described. It was some bullshit. I don't want to say it was traumatic, but it kind of painted it in a different light for me. And then of course being and using dating apps and dating, and then you kind of see the struggle on both sides. So I will say it is a legit fear. And for me, the fear is not so much that I'm not adequate, but the fear is knowing that, imagine if you care about something like, like the child becomes your little homie, or, y'all build a bond, but then you deep down know that you're not that child's father, but his father is his or her father is someone in their life, but you're the bridge between the father being closer, or you're the wall in between the child and the father getting closer for whatever reason. But you know that they're too young to comprehend what really happened. But you care so much about them. It's like, all right, well, I don't want to stop little Tyrone from having a relationship with Darius. So let me, back this up, because Darius isn't mature enough to find a way to circumvent and still build, even though he's not in the home, right? And so it's kind of like removing yourself for the sake of the child, because you care about that thing so much, right? Which is what I ended up doing. Like I ended up, like the situation I was in, I ended up mentoring the dude, the woman's son's father. I'm like, look, bro, whatever you do in your life, you got to be the best at it. Whether you cut hair, pick up trash, work in a warehouse, your son is carrying your name. Like literally, he's a junior. He's carrying your name, bro. Like that's your legacy. So you have to show him the way, whether I'm here or not, you have to be better for him. And the light bulb kind of went off in his head as like, this is my legacy. I have daughters, but this is my legacy. And that's really all that I wanted. And I could see that, the little man really loves his father. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to compete with this because it's not fair to him in the end. And also I know that this woman has not 100% healed from the situation. Like at her point, she had been with the nigga since middle school, and she was in her mid-20s at that point. So you talking about 10, 15 years of history,
10 years. Yeah.
10, 15 years of history to where y'all just ended something 2 years ago. Like you need to take more time to get over that,
Yeah.
And I was 20, I was younger at the time. It's still fresh. And that goes into my earlier point is that, I've been on dating apps, and I've seen posts on social media, and I'm looking at women with newborns, and I say newborns meaning like 4 and under, that are trying to date, and by all means do your thing, right? Not stopping you from that. But have you done the work to heal yourself and to build a solidified bond? Like, all right, we can effectively co-parent without there being feelings involved because we've acknowledged them, we respect them, but we've moved on from them. And not many women have done that or had that conversation with the guy for whatever reason, between they don't get along, he's not mature, she's not mature, whatever the case may be. And they're just like, all right, well, let me move on to a new guy and seek everything that I didn't get in this last relationship from this new guy. So it's like you open in another door without closing the other one, but you're telling yourself that it's closed, but it's still got a crack in it, in my opinion.
So I just want to add something that I forgot to say also. From a woman who's dating men, I have noticed that sometimes it's also not a big deal because the man typically, and it's going to sound really bad, but typically they're not like with the child as much as the mother when they have custody. So, like most of the men I've dated with kids, they see their kids every other weekend, or, they maybe like have 2 days out of the week and then they rotate or whatever. They have joint custody. So because of that, it's not like it's not like it's taking up our time together because they have kids. Unfortunately, that's a thing that for you, when you're dating women, if she has a child, like she's with that child majority of the time.
Majority of the time, women have their children with them more than it is that men have their children with them. Although there could be men that, because obviously my son's not here right now. He's with his father. Y'all none of y'all have kids, right?
Nope.
No.
So yeah, I think I'm the only one here with a child. So it's like, I get both sides because I've been on the side without kids, dating someone with kids, and now I'm on the side where now I have a child and I do have to deal with my child. He'll be 2 in December, so he's 1.5 years right now. So it's like I was with his father for 4 years, and I was young though. I was so young. I'm still young. I'm only about to be 24, but at the same time, it's just I'm dealing with the situation of if I date that. It's, typically it's baby mama drama or whatever. No, it's the opposite. It would be baby daddy drama. It would be I'm not tripping, I'm good. You get what I'm saying? But on my other side of co-parenting, he's not good. He would not be okay with it. He would throw a fit or a tantrum or whatever he needs. He would, I'm gonna hold your child over your head, try to start a custody war type deal. You get what I'm saying? So it's when you have situations like that and you are ready to do your own thing and maneuver how you want to, and you're good with yourself, but you have somebody that is, your child is your most. Once you have a child, I would assume to anybody that has one, that's your most precious thing that you have in life. That's how I view my son, and I love my son to death. Obviously, the circumstances are that we live in 2 different states, but at the same time, it's I've had someone manipulate it to where my child was a pawn getting held above my head at one point. You get what I'm saying? So it's I was forced to choose to not date or not do this or not do that just for the simple fact of the sake of my child. And you get what I'm saying? How his dad wanted to be ignorant or whatever. So it does create drama if I did want to go, you get what I'm saying, to that extent, which it's also, nobody has to deal with it. But to me, it's just more so you don't know until you actually have that person that you will just maneuver how you need to in order to just make it work for the time being until stuff gets to where it needs to go. And that's just how that's just how I am too. Like if I meet you while you're in the middle of your storm, we can either revisit the situation or we can go through the storm. Like it's either, I mean, and obviously you make your decisions based off of like what you can and cannot, or can and what you can handle and what you're willing to handle. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that come with having a child, but it's just like dating, I would say like I definitely want to more so like way more like just for the simple fact that I do want to make sure that my co-parenting situation is more solid than it is now. Like obviously our relationship didn't work, but I'm the type of person that like just because our relationship didn't work doesn't mean you're not a good dad. You get what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that you're not, you get what I'm saying? So obviously I'm not gonna be the bitch that's, oh, I'm gonna put you on child support and you can't see your son and da 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 da. Like that's not, I don't know. But it's like, but that's also what causes problems with dating. Like you have those situations where, okay, if I go out, I have a child, and then this guy has a child, and now I have to deal with not only my child's father, but his baby mom as well. That's a situation I would not deal with, just for the simple fact that I already got my own shit to deal with. I'm not about to add drawers on top of mine. Like, unless I actually like am feeling some type of way for this person. Like it would have to be this amazing, phenomenal spark. Would I want to date a guy with kids? Honestly, no. Like, and I have a child. Like, I wouldn't want to date a guy with kids because I know what can come with it and what can come without it. But it's just, I would rather not have to deal with it. But it's just more than likely a guy has children. Like, that's just what it is nowadays. Like, I've run across like a few, honestly, that don't. But at the same time, like, I don't know, like it's just different. It's just different. Then you run into the problems of somebody not understanding that thing with situations because you have a child and they don't. So it's like, I don't know, but I'd rather not. I would rather not.
Okay, man, I got a good clip out of a bunch of stuff y'all said. I started writing, putting stuff down. But what I did want to say though was, for myself, like I have a kid limit. Okay, like I have a kid limit. Like
nigga said she can't come with a basketball team. Nigga said 2 or less.
I have a friend like this. He won't date a woman that has more than 2 kids.
No, but see, because
how many for me, daddies?
That too. That's important.
Yeah, that's important too. But I feel like once you get past that number of 2, you gotta have another baby daddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you at least got 2 baby daddies, bare minimum. Like, you know what I'm saying? Once you get to like 3, or if you literally had 3 and it's just the same guy, that's cool, that's fine and dandy, whatever, right? But I'm not like you were saying, like that phenomenal spark. Like literally, you would have to like blindside me with the kids after the fact, like after I'm already there, and it's like, by the way, I got 3 kids. What? Because I'm not going to be like a
now, bitch. I love you.
So I have a question.
Like a stepfather like that. Like I'm not trying to be all of that.
Dang, we lost Celine. No, I had a question. I wanted Celine to hear it while she was here, but my question is, because as I'm dating, some people will upfront, like if you're on dating profiles, they'll put in their bio, I'm a father of 2. If that's not what you're looking for, keep scrolling, whatever. And other people won't tell you until after the fact, like a little later. So do you think that people should tell you up front that they have kids, or
okay,
I got a fucking story. Please, can I go?
Okay, go ahead, bro. Tell your story. Go
ahead. So look, okay, so sorry, this shit. Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry. So this is the shit that happened to me a month ago. So and Celine's back from my story. Yay. So this shit happened to me a month ago.
Let me update Celine before you start. Hey, Celine. Can you hear us?
Low. He's still low.
Hey, Celine, can you hear us? Celine. Never mind. Go ahead. Tell your story.
All right. So going to your point about stuff in the profile, right? So I was on a dating app, and in my profile, I specifically said I prefer women who don't have children and women who are not heavyset. Just say heavyset, whatever. I forgot what I used. I think I said BBW or something, but that's anyway. So I matched with this woman. Dope vibe, great soul, great energy. We're conversing in the chat feature. Then it goes over to texting, and then it's called, hey, let's link up, right? So I made plans like, hey, let's go here, 7:00 Wednesday. I forgot. And she says, oh, hold on, let me see if my sister is available. And I'm like, wait a minute, what kind of shit is this? Like, I'm dating you, not your sister. She says, oh no, I have to make sure my sister is available to watch my child. And I'm like, child, like what? And mind you, her profile said nothing of having children. It was just, I write poetry. I'm a yoga therapist. I'm in school for massage, whatever. I do X, Y, Z. Nothing about a child, right? So now I'm like, kind of like what Celine was like. What if you fall in love? Well, not necessarily fall in love. I liked her vibe. I was like, all right, okay. I'd be willing to see what happens, give it a pass. And her daughter was 8. She's like, yeah, my daughter's pretty self-sufficient. So, okay, over the threshold. She explained the child father situation, right? So here's the thing, right? This is the thing here's the thing that fucked me up, right?
Yeah.
We went on a date. It went smooth. It was kind of, first date's always a little awkward. It went cool. The check comes. She says, oh, I'll pay for mine, you pay for yours. So now I'm like, all right, bet, damn, like she wants to go Dutch, like, okay, like this is lit. Like, all right, now she's reciprocal, like so then we agree to meet after the date, we agree to meet up sometime the following week. The next morning, I wake up to I bullshit you not, a 7 iMessage text note about KJ, you're a great guy, you're awesome, I loved your vibe, you're dope, easy to talk to. I don't understand why you're single, but it alarmed me because you don't have children, and the fact that you didn't want to have children with your ex-girlfriend, it's kind of scary because I have a child and I don't think you would accept my child as your own. And
why would you? But you knew this before we went on a date.
Fucking thank you. You knew this. You saw my profile. You had to have read my shit at some point where I said no women with children and no heavyset women. So not only did you read my shit, you matched with me, you engaged in conversation, you agreed to go out on a date with me. Like, bitch, is it crack? Is it crack you smoke? Like, I don't get it. And like the shit really threw me for. I was so blown away. I was so blown away.
I don't like people who do that. Like, if I'm upfront with you and I tell you what I do and don't want, what I will and won't handle, and I still give you an exception, and you wait till later to bring it up. At that point, I'm now over you.
But see, here's my thing. She wasn't okay. Here's my thing. She didn't ask me anything about, hey, I know you don't have children. Would you accept my child as your own down the line? Which, of course, the answer is always yes. Duh. Why would I date a mother and not accept a child? You're mad because I told you that I didn't want to have children with my ex because my ex wants kids this year or right now after she got a promotion and bought a new house and is moving up in the world. And I said, I'm not there yet financially. We were on 2 separate levels at this point. So you're mad at the answer that I gave you to a question, and you tried to take someone else's hardship and apply it to yourself. Nowhere did I say I wouldn't accept your child. Nowhere did I say I didn't want children at all. Like, is it crack? Like, I don't get it. Bro, like that shit really pissed me off. Like I could have saved my time and energy going on a date. Like, how?
Right.
Sorry, I had to tell that story. But to Shar's point, like I be reading the profiles, and I respect people that are honest. Even I don't know, sometimes it just be double standards though. It'd be like, oh, a nigga has to come to the table with A, B, C, D, and I got 2 kids.
Shit to offer.
Bingo! I ain't got shit to offer. I got 2 kids. I got 2 kids, a broken iPhone, some holes and lint balls in my leggings. Bro. But you gotta be a king. You gotta treat me right.
Shut up.
I don't pay for shit.
Shut up, KJ. I've had enough of you.
Yeah. I mean, we
bro, like, but that's really how it be though, man. Cause man, like, cause you'll find someone you'll be dating, like you'll go out on a date or whatever. Like, they don't tell you. Typically, women do not tell you in advance. Like most of their profiles.
But I'm meeting men who don't say the shit till after the fact too.
I know. What I'm just saying. I'm just talking from what my experience is. That's it.
Okay.
Talking what my experience is, right? Mm-hmm. So my experience is women they typically don't say that or whatever, right? They're just like, oh, you know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Blah blah blah. Blah. You know what I'm saying? This is my job. They're just fully about themselves. And then later on, it becomes like, oh, okay, well, like when it comes time for like, I don't know, like let's say, I think what was that situation like? I think it was like date number 3. You know what I'm saying? Like actual date. Like she had already been back to the crib, whatever, whoop, whoop, whoop. And now I'm finally finding out, like, oh, I can't come over today. You know what I'm saying? Because I have my son, and I'm like, you have a who? Yeah, I have a son.
Like, why wait till now? Yeah.
I'm like, I've known you for 3 weeks now. Heck, at this point, if I would have messed up, we would have a child on the way. Like, if I would have messed up. So, like, now you weren't gonna tell me, like, you know what I'm saying, like, about this son. Like, it's not even that it's a big deal. It's about the hiding.
It's a part of you, yeah. Like why wait till later? Like, and the thing is, like, first of all, if I was a person who didn't accept it, that's not the person you want anyway. So why not be upfront and just tell somebody right away to give them a choice? When you don't do that up front, you're like pretty much defining. You're trying to rule over where this is going to go.
You're taking away my autonomy to make a decision with the best information that I have at the time, right?
Exactly.
And that to me, that's very selfish. And that's one thing that I've been working on in relationships and dating in general. And I always give women a heads up, like now, well, I'm not saying that I did used to do it, but I'm doing a better job at it. I'm always going to give you the most and the best and most information I can for you to make the best informed decision for yourself. Even if I'm not included in that best informed decision, I don't ever want you to come back and say, well, you held something back from me or you took away my freedom to make a choice. And for me, there's a lot that encompasses freedom to make choices. Like, for example, like the children thing is one aspect. I know it's Pride Month and these niggas probably gonna bash me upside the fucking head, but I don't care. But if you are trans, by all means, date, do your thing. I believe you should have equal rights. I support equal rights. I am an ally. I believe in allyship. But however, if you are a trans person on a dating site and you understand that you're going into a pool of primary heterosexual people, you need to disclose that information up front. And I understand there's a whole aspect of violence that happens, and I'm being serious. I'm not even trying to joke. I understand there's a whole aspect of violence that happens in a sense, but when you are you're a trans woman and you're approaching a heterosexual male and your intent is to date that person and you want them to see you for who you are, that is fair. Yeah. But when you do not disclose that information up front, you are taking away that man's autonomy to make the best informed decision for himself. Now,
which can lead to violence.
Well, I don't want to go down that road, but yes, it can.
I'm not trying to go down that road. I'm just
saying. What KJ is saying is let's not discuss that on the podcast.
I'm like I don't want to get into the apples and oranges and talk about that, and then people come and bash the show. But I'm saying that because I've seen the situation happen is to where you match with a person, and I've been on rooms in Clubhouse where you cool with a person, you might match with them, they might pique your interest or whatever. And then they get the conversation out and it's like they talking good and the vibe is dope. And then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, I just want to let you know that I'm a trans man or a trans woman, and I'm pre-op or post-op, woo the situation. And now you're like, okay, this is deceptive. If I would have known this up front, I would have never engaged with you.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, then you get into the whole discrimination and the whole anger thing.
And the thing is, everybody has their own preferences, so you can't be mad at somebody who is not interested in
and it's not
a trans person at all. That's a preference.
And it's not and I want to say it's not homophobic for us to not be interested in transgendered people. And I'll stand on that and I'll die on that hill, and you can kill me, come in my mentions, call me whatever. But if you have a preference of who you like to date, we are allowed to have those same preferences as well. I hated to take that left, but when we talk about things that are not put in the bio or that are not disclosed, like going back to the whole children thing, like that's a big red flag for a lot of people in dating, because if you're not willing to disclose great things about yourself, which I believe, you know, your gender is a great thing. You know, I'm proud of you for discovering that about yourself. But if you're not willing to disclose the great things about yourself, what else are you hiding? What other qualities and what other things haven't you been upfront and honest about? It's always my natural resorted to question. I don't know if people think like me, but I'm like, damn, if you hiding your kids, what else are you hiding?
That's how I feel too.
Yes. Yeah. I would agree with that. I would agree with that wholeheartedly, man. But I did want to like circle back though to like, yeah, my hard limit is 3. That's that. Well, not my hard limit. My limit is 2.
That's pretty reasonable.
My limit is 2. My limit is 2. My limit is 2. Anything past 2, I'm just like, I'm on like my own time. Because my thing is like, when I think about like making a family, like you go to that whole thing, making a family, right? Me and you are gonna make a family, right? If you already got 2, right? If you already got 2, that's bare minimum a 3-bedroom crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could make 2 work, but you'd have to shove the 2 kids in there together. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get older. You're gonna need at least a 3-bedroom house. Now, if we plan on making one together, that means we need 4.
And that's not even including if you want a guest room for when people come visit. So you might as well just say 5.
Yeah, you might as well just say 5. You know,
and then if you want a man cave and she wants an office, you looking at mansion 6-7 range.
Yeah, like it's not something where, honestly, like you don't have a lot of like you guys gotta like be on point, like at least as far as like structurally, like when you think about it, like logically, as far as like making a family and making a healthy space where everyone has room to grow into themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe that's important, like for like having a kid to where they can have their own room, so then they can have a space to where they can actually express themselves and maybe like, you know what I'm saying, like focus on whatever hobby they have. You know what I'm saying? Like they might want to draw. So cool. They just in their room and they just drawing and they just have all their drawings all across the wall, whatever. If that's how they want to artistically express themselves, that's fine. But they have the room to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I want each child to have that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be where, oh, his drawing's on my half of the room and oh, his toy car collection is on mine. Like, I don't want to hear all of that. Or he's so-and-so playing the game too loud, I want to sleep. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hear any of that. You know what I'm saying? I want them to have space to develop themselves. But yeah, that's my piece. Dating someone with kids is rough though, because they'll always get like you're gonna get a bunch of misschedules.
You'll never come first.
Yeah, you'll never come first.
Yeah, if you're a selfish person, you have to understand that you have to be okay with not being first. And if you're and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be selfish and having all of that person to you, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But if that's not what you want, that's something to keep in mind for sure.
Especially when the children are younger. Like you're gonna run into that a lot when they're younger. Like if you're dating someone and their child is like older, you're probably not gonna see that stuff like as much. You know what I'm saying? Because the child's kind of more self-sufficient in a way. Like
because like once that child hits 18, they on their own. Like it's not really a big deal.
Well, I'm talking about like when you're like, let's say their kid is like 12. Like okay, 12, they're pretty self-sufficient. Like 12 and up. You know what I'm saying? The kid can like order a pizza for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like you can literally tell them, hey, dial this number. Here's the thing. Matter of fact, they don't even dial the number. They punching in the app. They got like pizza on the way. You know what I'm saying? Like they know how to do it.
using the oven, maybe using a microwave, like 12, 13, they become pretty self-sufficient.
Right.
But then when you get to the 12, 13 range, or you get into the upper, let's say above 10, right? You get above that range, you're a decade out, and let's say she only has one, and you're like, okay, let's say she's 33, 34, and she has a 10-year-old, she had a kid young. Mm-hmm. Now you're like, damn, I'm 31, 32. I would like a child. Now it's like, in her mind, do I really want to go back through changing diapers and bedtimes and figuring this out? Then I'm gonna have a kid that's 20, a kid that's 10. Like, I'm almost an empty nester. Like, do I want to do that? Like, a lot of women, like for me in dating, and when I found when I meet older women who have kids that are in their tweeners, that's their mindset. Like, yo, I've done my time. I changed the diapers. I've been spit on, pissed on, pooped on. I've done the road trips. I've done the terrible twos, the crankiness, the bullshit, the nonverbal, the car seat, the changing clothes, all that. Like, my kids are damn near grown. All I got to do is pay bills, and they know what they're supposed to do. 6 years, I'm going to be 40, and I'm going to be a free woman or a free man. Like, I don't want to go through that shit again. And it's like, but you want me to date you, but you don't want to give me, like, how does that work? And like, no. So that's also a problem that we run into by, I guess, having children late, I don't want to say late, but later in life.
Later on. Because I wanted to have kids by 35, but I turned 34 in 3 weeks, so I don't even know if that's a reality anymore.
Listen, I'm at the point now. I said I wanted to be an empty nester by 50. I'll be 32 next year. So if it don't happen sometime next year, I have to clip that. I'm gonna just be the rich uncle, because I refuse to be like 65 with a 14-year-old and I'm dealing with that and I'm out of touch, and no.
Man, bro. Okay. Man. Yeah. Good points. Good stuff. Let me pull up this thing, because I'm trying to remember what the other NFL. Yeah, the NFL. So the NFL decided to finally drop their race norming policy. So for those that don't know what race norming is a policy where they would qualify and quantify Black people's intelligence. Therefore, they would use it as a metric to disqualify them from getting their their medical benefits, like for concussions or whatever. Because the premise of it was Black men had a lower mental capacity, like off rip. Like, so thus, if they lost cognitive function with the scale that they had, it would prove like, oh no, you're just as dumb as the regular Black person. Like, y'all were always this dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't lose any cognitive function. That's what.
So essentially, definition of race norming, and break it into simpler terms. Formerly called race norming, more formally called within groups score conversion and score adjustment strategy, is the practice of adjusting test scores to account for the race or ethnicity of the test taker. AKA, when you're in class and if the whole class fails, the teacher says, oh, I'm going to grade on a curve. And they're taking account, okay, this is the highest score, which might be like a 65, and the lowest score, which would be a 12. I'm going to adjust the curve. So the 65 is now seen as the A standard, and the 12 or the 10 or whatever is the lowest is an F or whatever. And based on that, instead of using a normal 0 to 100, they're using that curve. And so what it's saying is that, like you said, Smooth, when black athletes lose their cognitive function, we're seen as less educated based on whatever scoring system they used previously, and it's to say, okay, well, we already saw you as a 45, and now you're down to a 35. You only really lost 10 points because the 45 is an A for Black people, and now you're really at a B. When really 45 and 35 is seen as a larger scale, as a close to 100%. So that's essentially what happened with race norming, and then they use that to disqualify former athletes from compensation from injuries and CTE and their families and the whole.
Yeah, CTE, that was the acronym I couldn't remember, but yeah, it's in concussion protocol stuff. But they just dropped it this year in 2021. Like in 2021, like if that don't tell you anything about the NFL, I don't know what to tell you. Like people are like, oh, the NFL's not racist. Like they just dropped race on me this week. And they're a private organization. It's not like they had to wait on like some institutional laws or anything. Like they just suck. Anybody else got something to say? No? Yes.
I mean, it's some bullshit. I mean, plain and simple. I just think that it's some bullshit. It's just another way of utilizing black labor for entertainment or for profit. And then once we're used and abused like racehorses, we don't get shit out of it, or we get what little. And of course, people's default is, oh, well, they were millionaire athletes, at the time. And then like, that's beyond the point, so, I mean, I just think that it's some bullshit.
Yeah. A lot of people like to deny their humanity because they're rich. Like they're still human. Like the fuck, like you get money, you know what I'm saying? Like
there it is.
And money comes and goes. So your other thing with the you gonna tell us about that? Like the kid that was the football coach that forced the kid to eat pork, since we're on the topic of football.
What?
Oh yeah. So I came across an article on Yahoo Sports. I think it was late Friday I sent that to you, or late Saturday I sent that to y'all. So essentially a coach, a high school coach in Ohio, I believe, allegedly him and his coaching staff got fired, except one coach, because they allegedly forced a kid who practices Islam to eat a pepperoni pizza as a punishment for being late. And according to the lawsuit, the child was forced to eat pepperoni. Like he was allowed to take off the pepperonis, but the residue of pork was still on the pizza. But according to the players that defended the coach, they were saying that he was given an option of eating either chicken nuggets or something else of the sort. And I guess he chose to eat the pizza or whatever. And then they were saying that he wasn't forced in a sense, but the lawsuit says that if he didn't eat the pizza, he would have been kicked off the team or faced additional punishment. So it's really, I don't want to say it's a toss up, but it's really basically a he said of, was the kid actually forced to eat the pizza? Were any other options readily available? And it's all in, obviously, what side of the fence you fall in on. But what we do know is that the kid did consume the pork residue pizza, obviously going against his religion and his practices. All the coaches have been fired. And so I just thought it was really interesting because we talk a lot about, we don't talk a lot about religion and politics, but again, I just think it's some bullshit. Like if you have a child or have a student athlete and somebody said forced. Again, it depends on your definition of force. Like ultimately nobody can force you, in lieu of, extreme case of putting a gun to your head or shoving it down your mouth.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Of eating pizza. But however, we do know, like, let's not kid ourselves that the peer pressure to where if like my coach says, all right, eat this pizza or I'm kicking you off the team or you have to do these laps or there's some sort of authoritative tone put over it. And I know like, damn, I really love this sport and I don't want to get kicked off the team for not doing what my coach says to do. I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to like it, and I can't remember the age of this young man, but I wanted to say, high school.
He was 17.
Okay, so between 14 and 18, still a child. Your emotional intelligence is still not all the way there to comprehend, like, yeah, I'm going to stand up for myself versus losing or refusing to play a sport that I love to do, And so, again, that's why I still think it's some bullshit. I feel like the district made the right call because there are other, if he screwed up, and as an athlete, if he screwed up, he made a mistake, there are other ways to punish him, non-physically, of course, but still, this doesn't warrant, you have something that goes against his religion, his beliefs, his rights. Like, it's not like saying, oh, I made him do 100 push-ups or run the length of a football field 10 times. Like, you literally made this man violate his his commitment to Allah and the vows that they take, and when they read the Quran and they pray. I'm not familiar with everything, so please forgive me. But you force him to go against that for the sake of just staying on a fucking football team, and that's some bullshit.
Right. I agree. And while we're here, I don't know if you all heard this story. It was like last year sometime, about there was a black kid on a football team, and I don't remember if it was high school or college. That it was a pretty racist team, and they made him drink urine to stay on the team. It was wild. And so, like the KJ's breakdown just helped me understand, because I'm like, why would you even want, like, okay, they can force you to do shit, but you don't have to do it. At that point, you could just walk out. But the fact that he actually did it, I guess your explanation helps me understand a little better. If this is something that you literally eat, breathe, and sleep, and think about, what extent will you go to? Yeah, I kind of get it now.
Yeah. What did you say? He said, I understand that and agree with your point. Another example of how the media can use words to polarize and further divisiveness.
No, I agree. I think what they're trying to touch on is the whole forced aspect. Like force.
Yeah.
When we think of force, meaning like somebody held his hands behind his back, shoved the pizza down his throat.
Yeah.
But we're talking in a literal sense. Like, I mean, me being an athlete, Smooth, you being in the military, like there are certain aspects of peer pressure that go into just about anything. Like, yeah, we all have the right to not do something. And this is why, and not to divert, but why hazing was such a really, really big topic, because you have the right to walk out and do anything at any time, right? Like, I have friends that joined organizations and people that have joined fraternities and sororities, and they say, well, you always have the right to walk out at any time. We're not forcing you to do anything you don't want to do. But I've also seen the flip side of when they do walk out, they're ostracized, they're blacklisted, they're talked about, they're made fun of, for standing up for what they believe in. And so I'm assuming, with this kid, this child, he's going to lose out on doing something he loved to do, which is play football. B, he's probably going to be ostracized by his team, his peers, whomever. And, that ultimately has a huge effect on a child's self-esteem, even being 17 and turning that critical age of 18, especially being essentially what I would think your last year of high school, like, and especially in the times that we're in now with COVID, like, where everyone's mental is just a little bit different coming out of the pandemic. Like, that's some, like I said, that's some bullshit. It's really wild.
Yeah. The district did what they had to do in that situation. Like, they're hand forth, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you put anybody in, any child in that situation where they have an authoritative figure over them, they're definitely gonna, you know what I'm saying, conform, definitely. Like, that's the whole part of being on the team. You're used to listening to the coach. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you follow whatever he says. Like, hey, if he tells you go out there, spin around in circles 2 times, and then hit this button hook, and it worked, you know what I'm saying? You're going to go out there, you're going to spin around 2 times, you're going to hit the little button hook and catch the ball. Like, that's what you're going to do if you want to stay on the team. But yeah, so how y'all feel about the playoffs with no LeBron? Like, no LeBron in the playoffs for the first time in 14 years.
Yes, I'm fucking excited. And the reason why I'm fucking excited is because there's a lot of other great basketball players in the NBA that deserve to win a title besides LeBron. Plain and simple.
Right.
And I don't want you fucking brown sexuals coming in my mentions talking about you hate the black man and y'all want to see the black man fail so bad. And I've never seen a black athlete get so much hate than LeBron. Shut the entire fuck up.
94% of the league is black, right?
No, but they're talking about with LeBron, like they've never seen a black man get so much hate and we root against him and blah blah blah. Like, man, shut the fuck up. At the end of the day, I believe this. LeBron is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's obviously arguably one of the top 5, sometimes top 3 greatest players of all time, depending who you ask, where you put him in your list. I'm not gonna get into the order and preferences or whatever. And what he does off the court, the man doesn't even have so much as a fucking speeding ticket that we know of. He's a great husband. He opened a school. a great mentor to black men, a great mentor to the other players in the league. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of great talent in the NBA that we want to see compete in the finals and win a championship. Like, I'm not gonna go down to who's remaining in the playoffs, but it's a lot of great. If you watch basketball and you're a true basketball head, there's a lot of great matchups in these second round games and moving into the finals that don't involve LeBron. Like you said, 14 years is a long time to dominate. Like, that shit is amazing. Like, at what point, do we get sick of seeing LeBron and Tom Brady playing the fucking championship? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, every time, like, literally, like, man, that's kind of why, like, him being in the East Coast that long, like, there was no competition. I'm just gonna keep it a band. If you love an East Coast team, I'm sorry, all y'all was trash, bro. Like, he was guaranteed a path every single time. Like, he got a team there by himself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Cleveland, he ain't really had nobody. I mean, what, Mo Williams? Like, that ain't nobody. But like, I don't know. Like, I'm happy that he was put in a more competitive situation where he had to lose, because that means good. He'll have to like I guess. Well, he's kind of like on the latter end of his career. Like, I don't see him like. Maybe he'll change. I don't know if he'll change up anything. They're probably going to trade some people. No cap. Like, some people going to get kicked up out of there. But I will say for Miami and for the Lakers, like, they had the quickest turnaround ever. You know what I'm saying? Which is probably why they had so many injuries, because they only had 71 days, and then they had to come back and start back playing versus the standard, which is what, 140 something days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't have the normal off season. So yeah, that's just my piece. That's just how I feel about it.
What you think, Char? You watch basketball?
That's why I'm sitting here like.
No.
I mean, I watch it here and there, but I'm not like a fan like y'all. So.
That's funny. Char, like, all right, y'all niggas hurry up with this basketball shit.
Oh, I'm ready to. Y'all watching that Floyd Mayweather shit with
that comes on tonight, right?
No.
Yeah, that comes on tonight. Yeah, that comes on tonight.
No,
I'm not watching it legally. I'm telling y'all straight up. I'm already watching it.
I'm not admitting to a crime on the open line, but I don't have any intentions on watching it.
I mean, it's publicly available. Like, it's not even like I'm going to an illegal site to download it. I'm just watching the stream.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it. Because honestly, I hope Floyd knocks this kid out, man. But I don't know, man.
He got too much audacity.
Floyd get put on that campus too, I'm be sick. I'm be sick, man. Like, that was gonna hurt, because I'm like, dang, man, why'd you give this kid GOAT status, man? Like, now we gotta, I don't know, like, now we gotta like pray for like an incident. You know what I'm saying? Because dude's a dick. Like, ever since the Suicide Forest stuff and everything, like, I can't get with Logan Paul at all as a person. Anyway,
all this shit is disrespectful to the sport of boxing. But by all means, if they want to amuse us and knock each other's shit loose, go ahead.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, that was all the topics. That was everything I had. So, y'all got anything else y'all want to add?
Man, love black people.
Okay.
I don't have nothing. Happy Pride Month. Like, real
Happy
shit.
Pride Month. Yeah.
Happy Pride Month.
It's finally 90 degrees here. Just live life. Enjoy
Going
life.
through these streets. These streets are calling.
Yeah, I was in the streets yesterday. It was nice to be out again with friends.
I'm about to go grocery shopping. Wait, it's 90 degrees? Oh, this is some bullshit. Let me take this hoodie off. Hold on. All right. Yeah.
Right. I'm like, you're gonna go out there and just sweat.
Man, listen, my house is 65. I do not spare any comfort. My house is 65 degrees. I am comfortable. But yeah, I'm about to take this hoodie off and head to the streets.
All right, yeah, for sure. Hey, man, look, man, y'all like, comment, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for watching. We'll be back next week. Hopefully everyone else schedules unlocks, you know what I'm saying, for next week. But anyway, I appreciate KJ and Char for coming through. I don't know
why
you
never know how to say my name.
No, like it's weird. Like I don't know. Like
it's 4 letters.
I know.
You be saying Char.
It's literally 4 letters, my nigga.
Bro, listen.
All right, man, I got you. Man, I got you, bro. I got you. Yo, appreciate y'all for coming in. Like, subscribe, follow, watch, follow Smooth on all his social media platforms. Follow Shar at Free Spirited Shar. Don't follow me at KJ is Dope because I don't be posting shit. This has been episode 45 on the podcast Homeroom with Smooth. I'm not Smooth because he don't know how to say people's name. I'm KJ. It's been real. We love y'all. We out.
All right. Hey, we out.